Token Metrics is a cryptocurrency investment platform that helps users leverage machine learning to become better crypto investors. Our in-depth analysis helps eliminate the emotions of investing, find profitable investment opportunities, and filters out scams. Learn more at tokenmetrics.com.
We are live. Welcome to the Market Update. I'm your host, Bill Noble. This show is brought to you by tokenmetrics.com. If you need a roadmap in crypto and you need to make money in crypto, then subscribe to this channel. Turn on alerts so you know when we're going live. And of course, if you like the content, please hit the like button and give us a thumbs up. All right, market into green today. Let's check out who's here and where they're coming in from. We have Flipped Burger, Aiken, welcome. Rubber Duck Films, Raymond, hello. Okay, Notorious Love from Belgium, Kentucky, right? Mr. Khan, hi, right? The Caribbean, Pennsylvania, right? Pakistan, Los Angeles, California, all right? South Africa, Atlanta. Tom says, LFG, let's go. Right on. Okay. Wisconsin is here. Lima, Peru. Welcome. All right. Right. We have Boston, Texas. A different UPS truck. Mr. Antonio, welcome. Right. We have London. We have the Congo, Estonia. And we got a like from the Windy City in Chicago. Right. Ecuador. Someone says GMT to the moon. Okay. That's stepping. And no doubt people trying to get short that coin only to get completely smoked. Right. There are Discord sites where people are bragging about not only how much money they're making, but how much weight they're losing with stepping. So my guess is that coin may have one more leg to blow out shorts and suck everybody in. And the NFT game is most likely going to continue to pay off. Okay, our private group, right? The guy who found helium for Tokenmetrics originally, he found Steppen for our private group. Okay, we have Pennsylvania, Okinawa. Okay, we have Guinea is here, right? Toronto. Welcome to the market update. All right, let's kick it, folks. Let's get to it. Okay, we're calling this the new altcoin watch list. So there's two dimensions to this. There's kind of like watch your six, right? Because when the music stops on the upside, if it stops, you want to be careful. Then there's the new altcoin watch list, okay, coming to you from the Tokenmetrics site, from the Tokenmetrics research department. All right. So we're going to go through the market update. We'll go to the new altcoin watch list through Tokenmetrics. And yes, we will have on-demand TA so you know where your coin is in this market. Okay. Somebody's asking, is the private the same as the premium or VIP? Yes. I'm sorry. I call it the private group. That is the premium and VIP group for Tokenmetrics. All right, the new altcoin watch list. Now let's start with what just happened. What just happened? Right? It's like 1 minute this thing is crashing on Easter Sunday. All right, and then I guess people stopped the need to sell to pay taxes ended. Shorts got squeezed and it was on. So I'm looking here at ARK. Okay, this is the altcoins of the stock market. 56.86 was a key level. It could not stay below that and it ripped up. So shorts got squeezed across asset classes, which is particularly brutal since the long bond hit 3%, right? So ironically, the market's reaction to the long bond hitting 3% was, oh, okay, it's over, and everyone covered. Now, how long can that last? A couple of days, probably at least, right? They're probably going to take it up and squeeze out the shorts. Now, how bearish were people? So from the token metrics site, the sentiment index, right? I'll try to go to the site and show you this. But the most bearish coin, it's still bearish today, based on our sentiment indicator that essentially reads Twitter and Telegram. And as best as we can tell, when BitBoy came out and discussed the delay in ETH 2.0, right? His comments were relatively neutral, but that started what appeared to be a negative storm of tweets on Ethereum. So our machine reads the World Wide Web and says, wow, everybody's bearish Ethereum. Oh, shit, I wish I knew that yesterday, right? And then, of course, everything goes straight up as the entire Twitterverse gets negative. Now, what are we going to do from here out with Ethereum? This is a 1 hour chart. I'm identifying DeMark like a band between 3120 and 3200. So if we're in the business of squeezing everybody, it may enter that range. It may. Okay. If it doesn't, it's a sign that sellers are active on this big rally. Okay. So I still believe that if you've got junk in your portfolio that you don't want anymore, if they run stops in ETH up to 3,200, that's your chance to exit. Now, if you want some new altcoins to try to believe in, we'll get to that later. Okay, Luna, the entire world is all over this. I thought a Luna bounced, but it's incredible. What the lesson here is, don't underestimate this like new stable coin story that they've got, right? So 97 is the key level. So it looks like the range is 77 to 97. And if they break out, then that probably takes the rest of the market with it. This was the leading indicator. So this was the leadership coin, and people being bearish ETH was, you know, it was the indicator as to what was going to happen here, right? In addition to people trying to short GMT. Somebody just opened the short in GMT, okay? There's a lot of people working out who have got to sell that token. So it's kind of a battle, right? We'll get to more of that later. Okay, we have West Virginia is here as well, and Thailand, welcome. Okay, someone's cheering on Jasmy. We'll get to that. Let's talk Bitcoin. So these are quantitatively generated levels from token metrics. So it's kind of like machine learning and AI for support and resistance. Okay, it's interesting. It's different than the DeMark work, but I do like using it. Okay, this thing shows that the range in English is narrowing in Bitcoin between 40 and 42. So there's not a whole lot to do in that range, honestly, except lose money because there's no trend, right? So 40 to 42 is aimless chop. And then if it breaks out, it'll go to 46. And then if it breaks below 40 again, then most likely you're looking at 36. But what I am noticing from this chart is that the range is narrowing, right? In other words, yes, there's a lot of volatility, but it's all in the same place, right? Like, you know, shorts have an advantage. They get stopped out. Longs think it's going to 100K, and shorts come in and crush it. Okay. As this goes back and forth, the range will eventually narrow, right? And when it narrows enough, then the move will occur. Okay. In ETH, the range most likely is 2978. Okay. It was actually below 2,900 yesterday. The range is between there and 3180. My Twitter, I did some hand-kept GAN work. You know, this shows 3180. I had 3140, right? So it seems that the market feels like squeezing everybody. Are they done? I don't know. Okay, but when they are, you want to adjust your positions. If they're not done, we'll go over the altcoins to watch. Now, speaking of that, we have MLT, media licensing token, right? As of the 19th of April, okay, the token metrics grade was 84. And one thing I think is interesting about this is that it's doing a sideways range. Okay, sometimes our grade will chase price. Sometimes our grade will go up as price is in a range. So this is not something for the faint of heart, okay? But if you are looking for altcoins, okay, Token Metrics' site, we're going through the site and trying to find things that match up both with the site and with TA, and I bring the DeMark work in if I could. Okay, now, Lossless is pretty popular. Done some request work on the site. As you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, the Token Metrics AI grades for Lossless are over 80 across the board. Now, Lossless has a teacup and handle formation, and as we've discussed, handles can be really difficult. So let's just assume that the market does go up, or that Bitcoin and Bitcoins are stable, right? And some of these altcoins go up. So this is altcoin number 2, where I'm like, okay, you know, people have requested this, right? A couple of our guys like it, right? A guy I really respect owns it at Token Metrics. So if this teacup and handle formation is for real and ETH and Bitcoin find themselves in a tight range, there's potential here. All right. Now, Jasmy, everybody is pumped up on Jasmy, right? This is unbelievable, right? This thing was give up trade, explosion, another give up trade. They gave up on this twice. I'm like, wow. Right. And then it comes screaming back, right? The volatility in this thing is unbelievable. Now, just the work that I've done, it's not earth shattering, but it does show that the recent bounce off 0.018 shows the possibility of 0.020, right? So it can go back to its recent high. Now, the thing about Jasmy is when it's an object in motion, it tends to stay in motion. Okay, so if you're looking for a Jasmy price prediction, you know, as long as ETH holds a bid, or as long as ETH is still in the mode to squeeze people, and we don't know how long that's going to last, but clearly this thing, when it gets going, it keeps going, right? Because they gave up on it. The thing that's unbelievable is they made a double bottom. They gave up on this thing twice, and the bulls counterattacked hard. All right, so whatever the fundamental case is for this is worth looking at, okay? Because, again, it was a double give-up trade. Now, let's look at Near Protocol. So how do we know if the market's good or not? Well, then the best stuff should take off. Like the junk will lead, right, off the low. So the squeeze is in all the junk, but then if a real rally is going to start, the higher quality coins should kick in. So this chart shows, this is a 4-hour chart of Near, okay, that 1750 is what should happen, okay? So Bubba, good afternoon to you, right? And we'll take a look at RUNE soon, but Near has got to get above 1750. Now, confirming the DeMark work is our quant work saying, okay, Near has been consolidating and needs to break through 1760, right? So if you look over here in this top right-hand corner, man, what a battle here between 15 and 18. I mean, they are just getting after it here. So with bulls and bears mixing it up hard, if there is a breakout in Near one way or the other, my guess is it's going to be really powerful. Okay, so if Near is ever going to really go up, it should be now, while the rest of the market is temporarily stable. Okay, if Near doesn't go up, then it's probably just more waiting. Okay, Avalanche. Okay, Avalanche continues to be both complicated and painful. Okay, I'm showing a new resistance point at 82, okay, from our quant guys, and we know that because we've talked about that point. So it's just now showing up. The big question with Avalanche is, though, like there's resistance at 90, there's resistance at 82.7. Where's the support? I mean, the AI is drawing support at 52. I'm like, oh my God, change the channel. Okay, so, you know, Avalanche is holding up, right? So I guess the good news is if you're long Avalanche, you're like, all right, well, there's no support below, but it's not going down. Now, so the point I would take from this is if ETH turns and Bitcoin takes out 40K, then you got to get out of this. If that doesn't happen, then I don't know, give it a chance, see what it can do. Because I guess if it was going to go to 52, it would have done that already. Knock on wood. All right. So, you know, you can give this a chance, but it seems like resistance builds up top the longer time goes on. Solana, okay? Solana has become my personal nemesis. Okay, Boss Nova wants Ethereum price prediction short term. Okay, short term, you're probably looking at one more thrust to 3140 or 3180. At which point you sell out your terrible altcoins and think about buying either new ones on a dip, okay, or just flat out hedging everything. That would be my ETH price prediction. Now, Solana's got to get above 105. We've been looking at a couple different levels. The fact that Solana did not fall apart and came back is great, okay, for now. The question is, do people want to pay higher prices? In other words, now that the squeeze is done, does anybody want to get long crypto? In other words, are people going to buy this narrative? And again, we got to let the market decide, right? I can mouth off as much as I want, but if people think, you know, the 3% 30-year bond is it, then the market's going up, right? Now, the 3% long bond is not it, okay? But that does, you know, I'm not going to sit here and get run over, particularly when I work for a crypto company. With Solana, you want to see it above 105, okay? If it doesn't go above 105, then you're risking a move to 81 if the market turns, or you're risking that you just sit here with dead money. Because, you know, like Avalanche, okay, yeah, there's no support, but it's not moving lower. So it could be just a waiting game, and that's the market update. Now, before we get to the DeMark customized work, we're going to do the other 8 altcoin charts, okay, promised in the video, except I'm going to do it directly from Token Metrics. Okay, so you can see the type of thing that we're looking at and our research department is looking at. Okay, so I'm starting with Lossless, right? LSS. We talked about this. Now, let's look at the trading view chart. Okay, so we discussed how this was highly ranked. And I'm really interested in this because of how destroyed it is, right? I like it, okay, when we can find stuff that's gotten buried and try to find some evidence that there's volume coming in here and people are buying the dip. So this to me is interesting. I mean, it's tough to figure out when to get involved. The market cap is really low, so make sure you have liquidity. Okay, but the grading on this is very high. All the grades are above 80. And I personally have seen big winners come from, you know, the market in sideways mode. The market going sideways with the grade rising. Now, here's an example of exactly the opposite. Okay, this is DEUS. Okay, now the token metrics grade, the reason we picked this up is because the grade is not above 80 yet, but the grade is rising. Now, so unbelievably, this thing went from 31 to 1100. Now you're like, Bill, you just got done explaining that you want to find stuff before it goes up, and we do. But what is interesting about this is this held 62% of the moonshot. So the grade is on the rise, and people wanted to buy the dip. Now it's got more work to do at 715. So what's the net of the net with this? Well, if you're going to build a watch list, right? The video is top 10 coins to watch. Build a watch list and put this in it. And even if you don't have to trade this, not investment advice, because I'm not sure I would, okay, unless ETH blew through 3,200. But you can watch this in addition to your coins and say, all right, here are some AI-based altcoins, and let's see how they're doing. Morpheus Network. Okay. This might be a supply chain solution like VeChain. The token metrics daily grade is rising to 82. And if we look at if we look at the trading view chart, another example of potentially the bigger the base, the higher in the space. Okay, so really interesting fib speed resistance picture. Okay, our AI picks up on a lot of things, and clearly over the last 3 days, people have been coming in and buying Morpheus Network. And I can't believe in this upside down world, we're not going to have, we're not going to have a supply chain solution, right? Okay, so we have Origin. A lot of people come in and request Origin. Now, the weekly and the monthly don't look so good, but the daily grade is moving. Okay, let's see where it is on the chart. Okay, again, a lot of volume started coming in. So in the middle of March, people bought it. Okay, this is got its own stable coin and NFTs involved. So I almost want to call this like a Luna competitor in a way, or at least somebody trying to get in on, I don't know, can I call it the new stablecoin game? Okay, a lot of interesting work at 67 cents. So this is OGN. Okay, this doesn't allow me to, well, it does, but okay. OGN, this is the daily chart. If anyone's watching the video, this is OGN daily. Okay, and the key level in this is around 66 cents. So you put it in your watch list. If someone's buying it and it's at 70 cents 3 days from now, you know that the crypto market may have more juice left in it. So I'm almost giving you like AI-based altcoins as indicators. Okay. Now we've got REF. Okay. This coin, as I understand it, is in the near ecosystem. So it's like the Luna, right? With a stable coin, it's like Luna with the stable coin that yields 20%. That's inside the near universe. Okay, so this is going token metrics above 80. Okay, now let's look at the trading view chart to see where we are. Now, obviously, this thing has gone up a lot, okay, in the last couple of days. It's gone up 40%. But the all-time high in this thing is at 10. So if they're going to chase Luna, all right, and this gets above, say, 432. That's the level I would watch in this. So if you're building a watch list of altcoins, right, put this on the watch list and be like, all right, if REF takes out 432, then there's something going on here, because look at this. Look at this give up trade, right? This is the essence of the bigger the base, the higher in the space, right? Everyone gives up. It does nothing. Volume starts coming in heavy. Now, is this over? Are the bag holders from here where the give up trade started from going to get out? Probably. You're probably going to have somebody going, all right, I'm going to lighten up. Question is, will buyers take it from them, right? This is the essence of what you want on a watch list, something that actually helps you, figure out what the market is going to do, right? And I'm kind of breaking it down token metric style. So we have TCP, okay? Now, these grades are low, but these grades are on the move. Okay, we have a spreadsheet that we keep that shows that this is one of the bigger movers of the grade. So the grade jumped, which makes us jump to look at the chart. And look at the chart. What has this done? Nothing. Nothing. So it's either going to continue to do nothing, people are going to give up, or you can go to token metrics and watch the grade and see how this performs. Okay, MLT. Okay, media licensing. Now, this is another one with a grade that's moving, most likely because price is moving, but the grade shot up. Okay, going to trading view on this. Okay, so the AI, again, is picking up on the possibility of the bigger the base, the higher in the space. Okay, and it's right there at resistance at 23 cents. All right, so that's going to round up the altcoins, all right, via token metrics. That's kind of like our new altcoin overtime. It's your altcoin watch list. All right, let's go. Let's get over to the DeMark work. So let's go to near first, because I see that in the request list. Okay, so I am taking all of this down to 90 minutes. When you have a market that acts like this, like yesterday, just as a point of trivia, like yesterday was the first time that I actually did kind of a PowerPoint with one view and the market ripped in the other direction as I started the requests. So somebody watching yesterday's video is going to be like, gee, the PowerPoint was cautionary, but the requests were bullish. So thank you for tuning in to give me the opportunity to turn the ship around if I need to midstream. So if I could hit your like button, I would. Okay, 90-minute near. 1750 is resistance, and everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. Okay, you're probably going to need a catalyst out of nowhere to get it through that 17 level. Okay, let's go to okay, so here's GLMR, 90-minute. See how they run the stops above 420? Right? They get the stops, they get the stops, they get the stops. They kind of love doing that, right? Up here, there's been people selling it. Now, there's no material DeMark signal one way or the other. Maybe they got another rally left in it. So here's how I would play this. If you see this thing, if bulls can finally overwhelm bears, and again, there's a ton of resistance here, but if it doesn't back off, then it has a shot at going up, right? Because bears have had many opportunities to unload, okay? I said I wasn't going to go to the 4-hour, but I'm going to the 4-hour, okay? Let's do like a fib retracement thing to see if in this, there's something going on that we can't see as to why everybody is selling. So it's the 38% retracement of the down move at 437. So if you own this and it takes out 437, then you can leave it. If it doesn't take out 437, then you're just going to have to tolerate either more range trading, Okay. But if it ever broke out, then you'd be glorious. You'd be feeling good. Okay, someone's asking me, what's the JASMY grade? Okay, let me do curve and I'll go back to that. Okay, so here comes curve. All right, so everyone gave up on this, and like many coins, you know, it's actually above the give up trade. So I think for curve to be good, even though it's it looks like I'm sort of splitting hairs. Okay, 235 is the key level, right? That's where the give up trade started from. So if they take out that previous fourth wave at 235, even if it's only by a little bit, it means bulls can take charge. Okay, but the fact that they're selling it means everybody who goes, oh my God, it ruined my Easter, it ruined my holiday to watch this go down, I'm getting out. Retail always sells the first uptick, rightly or wrongly. Okay, so maybe the big players are selling, we don't know. Again, I'm watching that 3140, 3180 zone in ETH. Okay, now somebody was asking for the token metrics work on JASMY. Okay, so again, because of the give up trade, the grades are low. But the issue isn't always whether the grades are high. High grades are good if price has not moved. Low grades can be good if the grade jumps from 17 to 40. We'll find out what happens next with JASMY. Okay, I mean, if JASMY ever jumped from 17 to 60, that could be an indication that it's going to continue to move. Okay. Now, somebody was asking about GMT. It's kind of becoming the mother of all crypto trades because short sellers are out after this thing. And I get it. Okay. Because the people that own the token are going to have to eventually get out. Right? They're making $500 a day walking. So when are they going to cash out? Okay, so there's no history. I got to go to a 4-hour chart here. Okay, so one thing I've always told you guys is that, you know, rectangular ranges, this looks like the type of thing that ETH does, right? Where it'll get rectangular and then it'll get vertical. Now, sometimes with this stuff that's wild, GAN can be useful. Okay. So interesting that, you know, they attempted to go through a 45-degree line here. They attempted here as well, and it failed. It glided to the next GAN line over here, the 2x1. So if I had to say, all right, do the insane and pick a top in this, maybe 471. If you want to pick a top, 471, if they just go full FOMO, that's where it would go. So that's how I would do this, right? This does remind me of helium. You know, it was an object in motion, and the emotion, once it made the top, was incredible. Now, obviously, helium took a lot longer to develop, but, you know, this is either already emotional or is about to get emotional. But short sellers are probably going to be out after this thing if it stays up here. Okay. RNDR. Okay. So as we transition into requests, the big question is, well, the big question always is, what about my altcoin? Because your altcoin is the most important one, and I totally get that. Okay. So RNDR tried to squeeze through a moving average on the 4-hour chart and couldn't do it. Let's go to the 90-minute, because this is one of these markets where, you know, I can do a stream, and then like yesterday, it changed on me midstream. So I'm guessing if there's another leg higher, RNDR can go to 214. So if this market's got any gas left and dip buyers are out there, see, again, I go back to this. Are people willing to grab this thing after it moves? Either on a dip, right? Like, you know, it's easy to have said, oh yeah, I should have bought it at $1.88. Okay, now it's retracing 38% at 207. So you have good support at 207, and you want to see buyers show up there. Okay, we have Joe. Okay, so we're doing this previous fourth thing, right? So 9 bottom here, right? And it looks like you're going to have a 13 top right at resistance near $1.30. So it's kind of a mixed picture. Let's see what Joe has on what Joe's doing on token metrics. Okay, so the daily grade is still low, but I would guess the AI would improve the grade would improve, or the quantitative view on the coin would improve if it took out $1.29. That's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is to say, wow, you're getting a really robust bear market rally in this thing. So if you look at a daily chart, right, you had support at $1, okay, and then everybody came in and bought it. So is this people going, yeah, Joe's for real? Or is it a bear market rally? When I look at this, I would say Joe has got a lot of room to improve, right? Meaning, you know, if people like this market, this coin looks like it can go up because it's got a lot of room for its token metrics grade to go up. Okay, can we look at Polkadot? Of course. Absolutely. People, Polkadot. Oh my God. Polkadot's just, it's like a misery machine. Okay, but maybe that's changing. So Polkadot on the daily has a range between 23 and 1868. So naturally, they have to stop everyone out up here, and then they come down and really get everybody out with this huge red candle. God, 9 bottom, awful, right? So I would say if Polkadot closes above 1868 and stays there, okay, you can hope for 5 more up days in altcoins, right? Now, if you don't get 5 more altcoins, and I'm not going to say this the whole stream. What is your enemy in crypto? A failed rally. So if there's no failed rally and you own these coins, leave it. Okay. Now, if you've got some small coin that's broken that you don't believe in anymore, adjust risk and move to something that you might believe in. Okay. We gave you some suggestions, not investment advice, of altcoins to watch. Okay. FXS is interesting. I actually took a request from one of our customers for this earlier. Okay. So on the daily chart, they're closing in on resistance at 37. So obviously big move yesterday. Okay. On the 90-minute of FXS, there's a 13 top, but that doesn't appear to be stopping the market. Support is still holding at 35.5. If support holds at 35.5, this is still good. Okay, I'm not a big fan of this warning sign here, although actually check that. Okay, that was probably what gave you the big rally. So if this holds support and defies this top, I would consider that constructive, and you can, you can evaluate that as you go on. Okay, someone was asking about RUNE. I saw a couple comments. RUNE we discussed yesterday. Question: can you buy the big dips? In other words, after something has mooned, can you buy the bigger dips? So here's RUNE on a short-term chart. 9 top, counter trend move up. 9 top, counter trend move, trying to go green. So it looks like people want to take the risk, right? In other words, RUNE retraced 62% of its up move. RUNE retraced 62% of its big up move. Okay, it actually couldn't quite get there. Okay, I messed that up. Let's work off the moving average. So there was a big DeMark moving average near 782. Okay, people leveraged that as support, and then it broke out through the last moving average. The last time it did that was down here at 4. So people are going to go with this, right? In other words, if ETH goes up and doesn't fail, then people will chase this. Now, how long are you going to get to chase? A day? 3 days? A week? Right? So it's almost like we're back in this mode where if you're gonna go for it in these smaller coins, you go for it now. Okay? Because that's the way everyone else is trading. Now, in my mind, you better really like what you're going after, or it better have some technical or quantitative signal behind it. Okay? Buying strength in this market has not worked. We will see if RUNE is one of these coins, along with Zcash, where you actually get a lot of gratification for buying a breakout after a big dip. Okay, so here was the Avalanche lower in Zcash. Okay, and now it's kind of hovering on a moving average. Okay, let's look at the fib work, right to the 62% retracement. So there was the huge reversal candle. There is a theory in candlesticks that when you have what's called an engulfing pattern, okay, the more little candles that the bullish engulfing pattern engulfs, the more bullish it is. So is it worth it to go after stuff that has mooned and then corrected big? Right now, the market's telling you yes. Okay. And just, you don't want to see ETH or Bitcoin do some sort of gross failed rally. Speaking of that, okay, let's check in where we are on the 90-minute chart of ETH. So ETH went, okay, up and is probably working on some kind of 9 top, but it's above support at 3077. Okay, and then we will go to, let's go to Zilliqa. Speaking of, can you buy the dip? God. Okay, so this thing took off, and it can't get back through that 62% fib number. Okay, the 62% retracement is probably around 11 cents, but it just sits there below it. All right, now I think with this, because there's like fundamental catalysts involved, if they've got any more announcements, it looks like this whole process here on the daily is them just washing everybody out. So let's look at a short-term chart. Okay, it's not doing anything, which probably reflects the fact that people FOMO'd in and got trapped. Okay, What I will say is that it looks like they gave up on Easter, right? I mean, this is down, 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 and back. Everything's fine. No, wrong, down. So this is everybody panicking and giving up in Zilliqa. Now the question is, can they take out this previous high? Can it take out 12 cents? It looks like people packed it in and gave up. Okay, so you're either doing one of two things with this. If you bought it at much higher prices, you may be asking, should I average down? Should I double up? Okay, now when you look at the 4-hour chart, you see a 13 top. Okay, the answer would be no. So I'm going to stick with my idea, not hating on Zilliqa, but right now, when you see all the way up, all the way down, that is not necessarily paid to get involved unless there's a burst up through 62%. For RUNE and Zcash, we're sort of assuming for the moment that all the way up, back 62% and hold is good. Right? It's like, you know, fortune favors the brave. So you're going to take a shot that the trend is still your friend there as long as ETH doesn't reverse in your face. CGG. Don't have that. CTSI. Okay, CTSI I have. All right, so in CTSI, you have a breakout, okay, but it doesn't quite get to that previous fourth, right? Fascinating how, like, bag holders in these small coins are eager to get out. I would take that seriously right now. Like, let's go back to legacy and see what's going on with the long bond. You're probably like, what does CTSI have to do with the long bond? Well, a lot, right? The long bond is the destroyer of speculative assets. Okay. So let's just go to the 89-minute chart of the long bond to see what's going on with that yield. Okay. Now you're like, what's the long bond? Okay. The long bond is a long-term interest rate. It basically helps determine what 30-year mortgages are. This is an important technical level, conveniently at 3%. Okay. Now, if the long bond convincingly takes out 3% and goes to a short-term target at 308, that's going to take a lot of people by surprise. But obviously, that level is so big, the market is temporarily entertaining and everything is all right trade. Now, going back to this, how long can this trade last? Well, long enough to maybe take out or head towards 38 cents. And then once it gets there, mainly because the sellers, you know, they were in a hurry. So, you know, everyone's like, oh my God, thank God I can get out of this, right? And all your altcoins are going to look like this in some way. The thing is, do you still believe in it? If people still believe in it, when the sellers unload, there'll be someone to take it from them. Okay. Now, that may not be helpful in terms of the read right now, but you'll have to read the chart yourself over the next 24 hours until the next stream. Okay. Yes, we see some people in there asking for you to hit the like button. I appreciate everybody out there who gets everyone going. If you're watching this stream, okay, please hit the like button. We gave you altcoin overtime. We're giving you multiple different softwares, right, for altcoins. So 96 cents in Loopring. Okay. 96 and 98 cents. You can definitely see everybody headed for the door as this old floor has now become the ceiling. So it's probably got to take out 98 cents. I mean, you know, and again, it's probably going to take more than one day to figure out what the heck is going on here. Because, I mean, this is unbelievable, right? You give up, and then it completely explodes, right? So everyone gave up. Is the rally because everyone gave up and there was no one left to sell when the next buyer came in? Or is this like altcoins going, hey, we're gonna take a 2-week break from legacy gloom and doom? We'll know in a couple days. Honestly, if I had this and I've been living with this awful range, I don't know, give it a chance. That whole give it a chance thing has been working for 3 or 4 days, right? I'm just expanding the give it a chance, idea until or if ETH fails. Okay. Thank you for hitting the like button, Raymond. Appreciate that. Okay. Crypto.com. All right. So looks like they did kind of like an A, B, C correction, right? So that looks like bear market mode, or at least range mode, unless they can take out, 42.5 cents. So if they take out this DeMark point at 42.5 cents, then they mean business on the upside. Okay. We don't know if everyone's selling it at resistance or trying to buy it at support. We don't know yet, right? It's going to take probably a day to figure it out. But as long as this holds the old high at 41 cents, it's okay. Just know that there is an argument out there that people got too bearish. You had like a selling climax, and now you've had this corrective move. So you got to watch out for that long bond. So I guess one question you can ask about all these coins is how much risk can I take? Okay. How much risk can you take? Do I think this is a dead cat bounce? Well, it's definitely not a dead cat bounce because of how a dead cat bounce doesn't create an engulfing pattern that engulfs like the previous 5 candles. Okay, so here comes AAVE on a daily chart, right? So there was a 9 bottom. It hit an important moving average. When they couldn't take out the moving average, they took out the next one. So I would not call this dead cat. Okay. The question is the market buying dips? Is the market buying dips, looking for crypto to outsmart everybody, right? Think about it. The market goes down. Everyone gets bearish. Everyone looking at interest rates. Everybody gets all twisted up. Everyone gets all upset over Easter. Now, the question is it a 2-day bounce? Okay. Because it's been a hard bounce. Or is this a rally? So dead cat normally is just a quiet, small bounce. This had some violence to it, right? Where they really squeezed people out. How will you know the difference? Well, will people want to pay higher prices? So let's go to the 90-minute chart. Now, why are we doing that? Because we're trying to find either 9 tops or 13 tops, or we're looking for evidence that a market can take out resistance. So while AAVE looks amazing on the daily, the 90-minute chart shows resistance at 182. So if they take out resistance, it's a trend. If they can't take out resistance, it's a range, right? I mean, it didn't pay to sell down here. It may not pay to buy up here. This is why you have to decide in your coin. It's like, okay, do I want to hold this? Can I handle it if it goes back down again? It's easy to hold it when it's mooning. Can I deal with it if it goes back down again? Okay, Synthetix. How long can this rally last? This rally can last until you get a failed rally in ETH. right? So if ETH doesn't give you a failed rally, it's okay. The second you get a failed rally in ETH, it's done. All right. So Synthetix, okay, really nice looking 5-wave top, 9 top on the very short-term chart. Okay. Let's take a look at a 4-hour chart. Whoops. Okay, so as you can see with Synthetix, like these swings are unbelievable. Okay, let's see if we can pick up a clue from Synthetix. So a rare case where it rallies, it comes back down, they stop everyone out through the 62% retracement, and then boom, it takes off. Now, who's going to want to buy Synthetix up? Nobody. Which could be why it could continue to go up, right? In other words, look at this. Every time Synthetix goes up, there are these wicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Everyone gave up, right? So, I mean, if I was holding this, I'd be like, well, I just put up with all this awful action. I watched it go all the way up, all the way back down again. I don't know. Give it a chance to go to 7. What's the worst thing that can happen, right? You have a problem with the war, or there's a failed rally in one of the bigger coins, which you're holding. This is ETH. So ETH is holding. Maybe it's going to top out at 3180, but it's not going down, right? Bitcoin's probably a little overbought, but it's holding right near 41. Remember I said that 40, 42 range? Maybe it's as simple as this. If Bitcoin is between 40 and 42, and there's no failed rally in ETH, then your altcoin is okay. Okay. Bitcoin rejection at 41K, not looking good. Okay. I get that. Right. So here's the flip side. All right. I'm giving you all the different viewpoints. The first viewpoint is, I don't want to get caught in a down move in May. So if everyone's buying it and everyone's bullish, I'm going to raise capital and I'm either going to put it somewhere else, right? Like an altcoin that you might find, say, at Token Metrics, or I'm going to wait to see like what happens here. Like there is a strategy that I have not talked about. Doing nothing is a strategy. If you miss this rally, and I can't believe anyone caught this rally, right? No one did, because everybody gave up here, right? Maybe you picked it up. Maybe you picked up some ETH below 3,000, but everyone missed it. So if everyone missed it, sometimes waiting is best. You can either wait with your position if the chart's okay, or you can not do anything until it becomes clear. Okay, MKR. Got a really good stream here. It's almost like there's people, the regulars on our stream. If you're new, the regulars on our stream, it's almost like in some ways, it's like a premium private group unto itself. Like I'm talking to you guys, and then there's people in the comments talking to each other, which is awesome, right? It's the ultimate interactive experience. So if you're new, please come back. Please come back. Okay, so Maker, right? The key level is 1849. Okay, the 62% retracement of the down move is at 1883. So if they're in the mode of breaking this downtrend, then it's got a little bit more work to do. Okay, but these things are trying to move through support. Today will be a green day, and when the day is over, people go, all right, watch that long bond, right? Okay, Maple. just like a total stud. I heard it was mentioned on CNBC. The question in Maple is, should you take the money? Okay, so you've got this wild wick up here. I don't know if that's bad data or what. Let's see if I can get something over here. Okay, so for Maple, for it to really get going again, I was looking at 61. So if you're long Maple, you want to stay long Maple, you want it to be above 61. You do not want it to be below 52. Okay, so that's how I would that's how I would do that. Let's see what's going on API 3. Okay, so on the daily chart, the key will be a close above 460. Okay, on an intraday chart, the key will be a close above 460. So 460 is the level. Okay, looking at the tactical viewpoint, and this is another theory that you have to ask yourself when I'm not around. In my altcoin, what has changed in the last 10 days? In API 3, nothing, right? Nothing. I mean, it was here at April 10th. It was at this level on the 15th. And here we are again. Now, they tried to kill it, and they couldn't. So you could make an argument that this is the bigger the base, the higher in the space. You could do that. Okay? Or you could say it can't get out of its own way. Now, most likely, anybody involved in this perhaps could be thinking that there's a fundamental catalyst. I think from here on out, all these small altcoins are going to need fundamental catalysts to go up. So if you believe in your altcoin, you can keep it. If you don't believe in your altcoin, you need to recompute, right? Because if the rally fails, or Bitcoin and Ethereum, like today's an up day. So like yesterday was a euphoric green day. Today's a euphoric green day. And the best days to worry are on euphoric green days, right? The best days to say, okay, let's manage risk. That's today. With this, wait to see if it takes out 460. If you waited this long, you can wait. Okay, Gala. Kind of suffering waiting for Gala. I know this is like a big Wendy O coin. Okay, trying to get computer cooperation here. Okay, here's Gala on the daily. So Gala destroyed, left for dead, making people crazy. Now, here's something I can tell you about coins left for dead. Are they dead? Well, I guess if they can't take out that previous high right at 20 cents, it might be in a range. Now, if there's a catalyst, okay, if you believe that there could be some news, this is the type of coin that could go up. Because guess what? When they gave up, buyers returned, right? So when they packed it in, somebody showed up in this. So if there's a story or a narrative behind Gala and it showed up after everybody gave up, that's the recipe for a rally. Conversely, if you've got an altcoin and that story doesn't show up, say in the rest of this month, then come month end, you want to reevaluate. But if you held on this long, you might as well give it a couple more days. Okay, someone asking for the Zen bell, no problem. Okay, it's always good to have Zen going on in altcoins. Okay, thank you. Please hit the like button out there. Okay, I do not have, unless that's a typo. Okay. Let me see if I can find UOS. Okay, so we looked at this before. And the question is, see, now this is an example of people giving up, having it come right back to resistance, and then people start selling again. This is the type of stuff that you really have to be careful of, because, you know, if people are going to sell every rally, then you're going to need to be saved by fundamental news. Okay, KDA, another extraordinary pain trade because it doesn't go anywhere. Okay, now KDA has not been able to spend a lot of time below 6 historically, right? Like the area between 6 and 5, it's always tried to make a move, either bouncing off of that during the bullish heyday, right? Right. So it can sit here and annoy everybody, but normally KDA will emerge above 6 and attempt a rally. Now, each rally they've attempted has been smaller and smaller. But as long as KDA is not stopping you out, say below, I don't know, 520, right? People did show some interest in buying it. So based on the history, you might give it a chance. Give it a chance. Now, let's look at a short-term chart to make sure I'm not leading you on the road to ruin. Okay, so there's everyone giving up down to 5. So there were definitely buyers when it went below 535. So as this box will show you in KDA, let's just label it so people know what they're looking at later. Okay, so if you're looking at an 89-minute chart, okay, no one wants to buy above 6 and no one wants to sell below 5, unless they're just temporarily giving up. Oh my God, someone wants to know about QQQ. Check it out. What is going on in the stock market? Well, I don't know. They're coming up with reasons to buy it, like the long bond got the 3% and that's it. So we'll pretend it's over. And look at what they're doing. They're pretending it's over. So let's look at 90-minute QQQ and see what the stock market's doing. So QQQ is Web 2, NASDAQ 100. So your Facebook, your Amazon. So you had a 13 bottom. You had 2 13 bottoms on the 90-minute chart. So again, people got too bearish and now they're getting squeezed. So if the squeeze continues in stocks, that probably helps crypto. Okay, let's just look at S&P while we're here. Okay, this is SPY. I don't get real-time data on futures on DeMark. I don't know if they want to pretend it's over. They got room. I know on my S&P futures chart, Okay, the level is 44.57. So that was the level I was looking at, and then they couldn't keep it down. I mean, how bad is this short squeeze? They're buying home builders. Okay, in other words, everyone is assuming that the long bond cannot go above 3%. Now, maybe it can't go above 3% today or this week, but everyone is assuming that that can't happen. So home builders go from 60 to 63, right? Because home builders are completely hosed by rising material costs and rising interest rates, but they're buying it like it's going out of style, probably because everybody got caught short, right? Everyone was looking at the same thing. Everyone was looking at the long bond. And then when the long bond didn't wreck everything, they're like, oh no, we have to cover. Okay. So, you know, these things can go up until something stops it. Like when you got people who got too bearish, right? If people get too bearish in stocks, right, the squeeze that can be led by that futures contract can pull the whole market up. Okay. Ben is saying the near stable coin is launching tomorrow. So, you know, we will see if they got enough juice in S&P to take this out. If they got enough juice to take this out in S&P, then you're going to have an extended rally in crypto. So let's just go back to Bitcoin and Ethereum. So they're putting a hurt on everybody in stocks. And let's see what's going on in crypto. And then we'll take one or two more and wrap it up. So again, you know, stocks up and ETH holds support. So no one's interested in selling here. And I don't blame them, right? If interest rates are not a problem, then there's no problem. And that's the trade for the next couple of days. And you probably don't have to do anything until you see a failed rally. Okay, so Cake. It'd be great if Cake could take out $8.57. I know we have Cake fans out there that really want this to go up. Okay, it's holding on top of an important moving average at $8.34. So Cake is above support, and the Cake daily chart looks okay. So it looks like they tried to kill this and it didn't work. This is interesting. They really tried to kill this coin and it did not work. That was like what? April 10th. So if they tried to kill it and they tried to just break it and it didn't break, then I don't know. Like the give up trade started up here at 1142. So can Cake go from 8 to 1142? Well, I work for a crypto company, so I sure hope so. Okay. So if you put up with this for this long, I think you're in wait and see, leave it mode. I mean, if the thing is green and stocks break out, then you're okay. If stocks fail or if ETH fails, then that old playbook where adjusting risk is appropriate. Okay. Somebody is earning GMT staking Cake. That's interesting. Okay. Okay. Last one. WIN. Have not done this one before. Okay. So not much happening on the daily. Let's check the 4-hour chart. All right. So this is a good synopsis of all altcoins, right? We are witnessing what happens after people give up, right? So in WIN, here was the April April 10th, 11 give up trade rally, which got sold. People gave up again. And then now it's coming back. So they gave up twice. It's like JASMY. So if you have a double give up trade and you've been suffering, right, you probably have at least 1 or 2 more days before you have to reevaluate. If you don't want to reevaluate, that's okay, as long as ETH and stocks don't fail. So that's going to be the bottom line for today, right? We're going to be back tonight doing like the trading battle, me and Mehdi, okay? So let's sum up what's happened. People got too bearish, they got squeezed. How long can the squeeze last? Normally squeeze lasts until people get bullish and they're convinced it's a new uptrend. So that could mean ETH could go to 3,200, or this rally could be over tomorrow. I don't know. As long as your altcoin is either above a previous fourth wave or it's above where a give up trade started from, or you see buyers getting in on dips. Earlier, we gave you 10 altcoins from Token Metrics that you can watch. Okay, so if you don't like your coins, watch the ones. Note, I said not put the rent money in, not investment advice. Watch those altcoins to see if anything that has a quantitative flavor to it picks up a bit. You'll know if it's a trend before I do, because I'm always on the air for 2 hours a day. So keep going if it's not a failed rally. You get a failed rally in ETH, a failed rally in stocks, or some sort of negative economic news, bail. If you don't get that, then this could last 5 days. So that's how I would break it down. Spin, Steve J, okay? Mr. Cortese, we appreciate you, okay? We appreciate all of you who come to the stream. And if you hung out this long, I double appreciate you. If you're watching this video for the first time, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And please hit that like button. If you want more on altcoins from a quant perspective, tokenmetrics.com. So this is Bill Noble signing off. We'll see you tomorrow.